You are welcome to the Lord TV, your number one fantastic reality TV that gives you all that it takes to be enlightened on trending news such as politics, entertainment, sports, and what have you. If you are new on this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button as well as already subscribed. So please don't forget to drop your comments anytime I drop new videos. Thank you. Ciao, ciao. Trending news. Falana attacks DSS over sowores case, says your apology self-contradictory. Femi Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria, has reacted to what they called the self-contradictory press release of the State Security Service (SSS), in which an unsuccessful attempt was made to absolve itself of responsibility for the armed invasion of the Federal High Court, Abuja Judicial Division in general, and the desecration of Court Number 7 of Honorable Ijeoma Ojukwu in particular, as well as the illegal arrest of Omoyele Sowore. First, pretending to forget that the abominable desecration of the Federal High Court was covered live by domestic and international media outfits and journalists, some of whom were also direct victims of the gangsterism, barbarism, and brutalization displayed by officers of the service on the 6th day of December 2019. The service, as Falana argued, has conducted eyewitness accounts of what transpired with the aim of showing that officers of the service were not involved in the arrest of Sowore. Second, Falana said the service argued on the one hand that the arrest of Sowore was stage-managed by the supporters in order to give the service a bad name, while also admitting at the same time that officers of the service arrested Sowore outside the court, having declared that the service arrested Sowore outside the court. Despite the stage managing arguments, what the Nigerian people want to see happen, as the lawyer put it, is the immediate release of Sowore pending his trial as ordered by the court. However, the following facts underscore our insistence that the service was solely responsible for the desecration of the hallowed chamber of the court. By the advantage of information technology, the whole world has placed responsibility for the gangsterism desecration of the court on the DSS. The SSS cannot extricate itself from the abominable acts of 6th December 2019, when I informed the court that fresh charges were being filed against our clients and that they could be rearrested. The prosecution denied any such plan. As soon as the case was adjourned, the SSS pounced on Sowore and caused a disruption of the proceeding of the court, having taken over the courtroom via Army's Justice Ojukwu hurriedly rose and asked the registrar to adjourn all other cases. After the lean trial judge had risen for the day, she summoned the heads of the prosecution and defense team to her chamber. When the lead prosecutor, Dr. Liman Hassan San, denied knowledge of the invasion of her court, she directed him to invite the head of the SSS team in the court. When challenged to justify the invasion of the court, the officer could not. He apologized to Justice Ojukwu on behalf of the SSS. The judge then directed the officer to withdraw the SSS operative from the courtroom. The directive was complied with as the operative withdrew from the courtroom but rushed out to join their colleagues who had taken over the entire courthouse. Notwithstanding that the SSS could not produce any warrant of arrest for Sowore, the defense team decided that I should accompany him to the SSS headquarters in view of his physical brutalization inside the courtroom and the open threat to his life.
I did and ensured that he was driven in my car to the SSS headquarters, where I handed him over to the officers on duty. Thereafter, I requested for a meeting with the head of the SSS, but I was informed that he was not in the office. Though ordinarily, officers of the service do not wear any uniform on the 6th day of December, some of them were in mufti, many were not only armed but also masked, while others disguised in lawyers' black and white suits. Regardless of the form of appearance, the officers of the service inside court number 7 were identifiable, but their roles and acts of seizing Sowore and pinned him down. It is an utter poor reasoning to say that Sowore's supporters were also those bent on injuring him in order to arrest him. The argument of the service in this respect is as unfortunate and pitiable as the earlier argument of the service in respect of the late Chief Gani Fawemi, who was once accused of wanting to set ablaze his own house. If Sowore supporters subjected him to such brutalization in presence of SSS operative, why were they not arrested for contravening the provision of the Anti-Torture Act 2017, or were the SSS operative expecting the supporters of a defendant wanted by the state to kill him in their presence? Before submitting himself for arrest, Sowore had rightly demanded for a warrant of arrest and detention order, but the SSS operative were unable to produce either. In rationalizing the rearrest of Sowore, which is denied in the same press statement, the service alleged that Sowore held meeting with some people, assuming without conceding that Sowore held meeting with some people in Transcorp Hotel as alleged by SSS. Why did the prosecution not inform the trial court that the defendant had breached his bail condition? The SSS says it is a law-abiding institution, but why did it refuse to comply with the order of Justice Taiwo to release Sowore? Why did the SSS threaten to report the judge to the NJC for granting bail to Sowore? Why did the SSS subject the order of Justice Ojukwu for the release of Sowore to its own approval by asking the sureties already verified by the judge to report themselves to the SSS? Why did the SSS wait for the 24 hours ultimatum issued by the trial judge before releasing Sowore and Bakare? Incidentally, the current prosecutor, Dr. Liman Hassan San, was the counsel to the defendants in the case of FRN Air Commodore Muhammad. In that case, the order of Justice Nnamdi Dimba for the release of the defendant on bail was flouted by the SSS. As if that was not enough, the SSS invaded the home of the judge on 8 October 2016 when the houses of judge accused of corruption were raided. Even though I have never appeared before Justice Dimba, I have always known him as a judge of impeccable integrity. So I challenge the DSS for painting an incorruptible judge with the brush of shame. It was after my intervention that the MJC gave the judge a clean bill of health. Thereafter, the judge was compelled to withdraw from the case. The SSS thought that it had won, but it was a Pyrrhic victory. Thus, Justice John Tusho, current Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, to whom the case was reassigned, reiterated the order of Justice Dimba and proceeded to rule the trial would not commence in the case until the defendant was released from custody. It was at that stage that the SSS complied with the order of the Federal High Court. In conclusion, in the light of the foregoing, we reiterate our demand for the release of not only Sowore in obedience to court order, pending the verdict of the courts in their trial. We equally call for the release of all other political detainees and criminal suspects who have been admitted to bail pending trial by competent courts. Finally, It is common knowledge that this country was ruled by military dictators for about 3 decades. On no occasion did security operatives invade court premises to arrest political activists inside a courtroom. Thereafter, the bizarre harassment of courts cannot be tolerated under a democratically elected government that claims to be operating under the rule of law. Thank you for listening to this news. Viewers, what's your take on this news? Please don't forget, your comments concerning this news are of great importance. Please don't forget to leave them behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell buttons to receive more updates. Thank you.